Fantasia.
Hi, baby.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Let me turn this down a little bit so I can hear you. You got a nice soft voice. So what's going on with you? Welcome to Delaware, first of all.
Thank you. Man, we have a brand new album, and it's been 3 years. Too long. And so I'm just stupid excited about it.
I'm glad. So tell me a little bit about this album. It's been 3 years. So what's your inspiration?
Well, I always put my life into my albums. I've always been an open book ever since, I came from the Idol. And I like to call it a testimony. I'm one of those artists who really understand that I'm still like you, and I still go through things, and family-wise, relationship-wise, business-wise, a lot of things go on in my life, and I always like to put that in my album so that it can feel real. Somewhat like the Free Yourself album. I still get people to come up to me and say, I'm still rocking the Free Yourself. I'm still going to buy that album just because it was so relatable, and it was true. It was real life, and so many people can relate. So this album is that for me. It's been 3 years, and I've had a lot of things go on in my life in that 3 years, and I just like to put it all in that album.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. So who are some of the people that you worked with? Because we all know you work with a lot of different people.
Right. Well, I worked with a lot of different producers this time. I went with some cats that are not, a lot of times people go with producers that have hot stuff out right now. Somebody put out a hot song, and it's like, oh, I gotta find that, gotta find him and do something similar to that. I wanted to work with a lot of people who are hot but are up and coming, who just need to be heard. So I worked with a young cat by the name of Novel out of Atlanta, KP out of Atlanta, Clyde Kelly, which he's all over the place. He's working with a lot of people, Rico Love. I don't want to forget anybody, Stereotype. And I also got to work with CeeLo. I've been hunting him down for a long time, and he finally got to do something with me, so.
That's cool.
I love him.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to play your first single off the record. You want to introduce it?
Oh, man, turn your radio up, because this one right here, this is the joint. Bittersweet. It's real, it's a true story.
Kiss 101.7. What's going down? It's Jay Nice on the mic. Still in the studio with Fantasia. That was your first single, Bittersweet. Very lovely song.
Thank you so much.
By the way.
Thank you. Just trying to bring some soul back, man. Some, you know what I mean? Some real music. Shout outs to the Little Mo's, the Faith Evans, Jasmine Sullivan's, and Mary J. Blige. I grew up on just that real good, real good music. So I wanted to bring that back with my first single.
Yeah, because I understand you used to sing gospel when you were younger, right?
Raised up in gospel. First cousins Casey and JoJo, so singing is all in the family. Gospel is everywhere.
Casey and JoJo. Yeah. So when they were coming out, did you travel around with them, or did you get to experience anything as far as?
I was so young back then, you know what I mean? And I remember whenever they used to come back home to High Point, I would always say I wanted to go on the road, I wanted to sing. And he would always say, just take your time, stay in school, because it's crazy out here. Now I can say I understand what he was talking about, but I was so young then, so I didn't go on the road.
I understand. So tell me a little bit more about this album as far as, when's it come out and, the name of it.
August 10th, and I titled my album Back to Me. Just because I felt like out of my 6 years being in this industry, there's been a lot going on, you know what I mean? And you sometimes have people that feel like you should be the way they think you should be, or you should do this type of music, or maybe you should change up your whole image because this is selling, this, that. And I felt like, I wanted to go back to those days when people first fell in love with me, which was my Idol days. They fell in love with the soul singer, the girl that would kick her shoes off sometimes. I would say country slang, and they loved it. So I wanted to just go back to me and sit in that and be comfortable with who I am, and that is just being a true soul singer.
Yeah, you were young when you won American Idol, weren't you? You were about, what, 19?
Yeah, 19.
How did that feel? How did that feel being in front of, because we all know about Simon is.
Yeah. Well, it was my first competition, I had never done anything like that. And going in, I just went in open-minded, like, anything could happen. I would hear about certain things that he would say. I heard he was like the mean one. But I think he had a crush. I think he liked black women because he never really I'm for real. He never really said anything mean. He always commented on, my lips. So I think I got by good with him. But just being on the show and having to be judged and making friends with all these people and people are leaving and they're so talented and everybody's going after the same thing. That was hard. That was tough. And especially for me because I was a young mother. I dropped out of school. My story was totally different from everybody else's. And so it was like, you know, how can she be an idol? You know what I mean? How could she be an idol when her... And that's why I came out with Life is Not a Fairy Tale, just letting people know that I was the idol for all those people who had been through what I had been through. I was the idol for those mothers who, you know, had kids and felt like, what should I do? Can I still go after my dreams and visions? I was the idol for them.
Absolutely. I respect that.
That's what's up.
That's really, that's for real. That's really good. And then you wrote the memoirs. You said Life is a Fairy Tale. Mm-hmm. Now, at the same time, you do a little acting. I'm understanding that you did,
Color Purple.
You did Color Purple.
Yeah, just a tiny bit of acting.
How did you like that?
To be honest with you, it was very hard. Broadway is no joke. There's a show every day, 2 shows some days. And for me, I had never seen a Broadway play before. Mm-hmm. Color Purple was my first Broadway play that I had ever seen. And then I was starring in it. That first year, it was hard to come out of character. I remember I used to watch like actors and actresses speaking on how they would go into character so hard that they had to do certain things, and I didn't understand. But now I truly understand. It was hard for me in the first year, but I'm glad I did it. Mm-hmm. Because the role that I played, Miss Seeley, who's become a friend of mine, she taught me some things, and I'm a tough cookie now. There's nothing that can stop me. Once you do Broadway, you can do anything.
Really?
So I'm proud of that. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. And I got good reviews. Thank you.
Very grueling schedule.
Very. It takes a lot. I mean, you can't go home. Of course, I couldn't get on a plane and go see Zion because there's a show every day. After you get off stage, you can't do anything but sleep because you're so tired. And for Celie, she never comes off stage. She is the story. She tells the whole story. So I had to get used to that. But I knew that when I said yes and when they offered me, because I didn't try out for the part, they came and asked me to do it. When I said yes, I knew that I had to totally commit myself to nothing but that.
The album in stores August 10th.
Yes.
His name, Back
to Me.
Back to Me.
Back to Me. Don't listen. Like I said, it's been 3 years. I've been quiet long enough. So go get that album. And I always say I put my all into my albums. I put my life into my album. So if there's anything you want to know about Fantasia, if you want to hear it from my mouth, so I'm pretty sure you've heard a lot of things. But if you want to hear it from my mouth, go get that album. I also got the Color Purple song on the end of the album, which everybody enjoys. I'm here and I'm here. And, you know, just giving a little something to everybody. So, go get it.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming through, hanging out with us today.
Thank you, baby.
You know, looking lovely as always. And if you ever have a dating show, make sure. No, I'm just playing.
Good plug.
No, you're not. Alright, anyway.
Let you go and do it.
Anyway, we're going to sign off right now. We're going to let you hang out with the fans a little bit.
All right.
Jay Nice in the studio with Fantasia. Kiss 101.7.